Hello there. um, Now this video is going to be a bit unique, I think. I've seen a few Matrix videos, or how to escape the Matrix, or stuff like that, by other people on YouTube, and I want to do this one a bit differently. Well, for one thing, I've got music on as well. It's usually very serious but it's not going to be about that, I don't think. You know what I'm like, I flow through different subjects. Once I get going, once I start talking, once I relax, start feeling good, then I start flowing into different subjects. Now, like I always say, regarding the system, the Matrix is basically a distorted energy field. Now, this is science as well. This is real stuff I'm talking about. That we are emotional energy. Everything is that. And basically, the system is not people. We are not people. What is going on is, because we're energy, we manifest an experience. Now, all this stuff started coming to me when I had this unexpected spiritual awakening at the age of 24. And one thing led to another, and information starts pouring in. Because now I'm going within, and when you go within, you access that force, which you can call it God, call it whatever you want. And that is how you escape. And you realize in awakening, when you choose to go within, anyone can do it, that all outward is the Matrix. And it's been designed because basically the energy, like I'm talking about, produces a dream-like experience / simulation. And that's what it is, but it's your dream. So the dream outward is just it's just part of your dream, because you've got to have the negative to have the positive. So you've got to have the monsters and all the things, but when it's time to wake up, when you make that decision to go within, like for me, it was tragedy that made me go within. It forced me to wake up. And once you stop looking outward, start looking within, anywhere's your heaven. Like we're supposed to be in this quarantine right now, this lockdown, which is really the government imposing its will against the people. And I'm just fine, because this is the way I live my life anyway. I was always alone, I was always in solitude, I was always meditating, I was always going within ever since this awakening. But even before then, my life has been a pretty solitary road, even as a child in school. So this is no different. And I know what being alone can do, because once you stop hiding from it and you open up to it, then you awaken. I was watching an Eckhart Tolle video today, and he was saying that he thinks that a lot of people might spiritually awaken because of the fact that once you're on your own and you're starting to observe your thoughts, you're going into this meditative state, and that's when you start going through your awakening process. But most people will not do that. They want something else to cling to. It's an ego thing. But once you ignore all that is the Matrix also. Because when you go within your heart space, when you let your heart space lead the way, and this is science now in the Heart Math Institute in California, is that once you do that, that's how you connect with the source. See, the source is you. And you're in a dream-like experience. And with doing that, you could be in a prison and you could be free. right? It's a state of awareness, state of consciousness. That's how you escape the matrix. That's how you do it. And by going within, you change yourself. So this is how you make the best contribution at this time, or any time, is by healing yourself from within. And then by doing that, the energy changes. It's not going to happen by voting. It's not going to happen by anything like that. It's all about you changing your energy. And then then that changes how you respond to things and everything. And then you change your reality. And then the next person who's interacting with you, they change as well, because everything works with each other, you see. All the things work together. And that's how it was for me. Once I had this awakening, I started to go through this path, this process, like a process, and realizing that it's all oneness, it's all me, it's all reflections of me, and that you are essentially the God. And that, like Osho once said, a life doesn't need an outside creator to create it, because it's the infinity all by itself. See, that's the thing, we have a perception of God, and that really is what locks us in the matrix. This illusion, the illusions that we're fed since we're born all the way up, and then we have this mind pattern, this programming, locking us in. See, we've always been locked down. That's the thing, you were always locked down. If anyone actually in this quarantine period actually goes within themselves, they will realize that the real freedom was always within. And it's not something society or a system can give you. And they're not cheating you in any way. It's only something you can get. And like I say, that's how you wake up, that's how you escape the matrix. And then you realize you are the matrix. You're everything. And that's basically what happened to me. And even when I say things like everything comes from the top, but a top doesn't exist, it's just an example. Everything's just you, and you are connected to everything else, and it's all one. That's why regarding this COVID-19, when people say, oh, it's different to the flu, well, actually, no, you're not accurate there, because everything's connected by energy. So it means that everything is the same one thing. Science fact. Everything's connected. It's just different names they give it, you see. Everything's connected. It's all the same thing, just expressed as something separate. And that's what you do. You start practicing, when you're around people or in shops. That's when you feel the most matrix energies. And it's this distraction thing that pulls your attention. Pay attention to that and practice being still. And the more you do that, the more you'll open spiritually. And the more you become one with all, till everything just becomes love. So then you realize that there's not a certain way to go to, that everything's perfect as it is. That's when you're reaching nirvana. That's what this path of escaping the matrix actually does. It's like you're becoming a minimalist, but in your awareness. You don't have to do anything in your real life to be a minimalist. It's all to do with your awareness. You can have tons of stuff all over the place, but it's to do with your awareness. That's where the magic is. That's what can make that's what does make your reality what it is. So that's how you do it. And then the matrix to you won't exist anymore. It'll just be like a oneness. It'll be you. Right? And then you'll realize that you created your reality like that. And that you're the sun, you're the moon, you're the whole shebang. and all is within. And that is how you defeat any stresses that you might have at the moment with being isolated. You know, isolation is a great time to meditate and to go within and to practice escaping this matrix. So this is an opportunity for people to do that. A great opportunity. You know, when you're sitting by yourself, observe how you feel. Notice how your mind wanders. And it's actually the ego trying to take you in different directions because the ego wants pleasure. And if you start to be more aware of this and observe it more instead of reacting to it, you'll become more present and more still. And then this pain that you think you're feeling will actually drift away, because it's just the mind playing tricks. See, the matrix is not so much the world, it's more ourself and our own awareness that has been programmed to produce the horrible reality. And what's doing it? It's like the energy I talk about, this energy that comes from distorted emotions in the world, which creates this separate illusion of a system. But we don't know that we've created it. It manifests itself in physical form. So that's why in this global awakening, the energy is changing, and therefore things are changing in the world. But it's because the energies are changing. It's like an exorcism. The global awakening is like an exorcism for the planet, and the demonic forces are reacting now, coming up with viruses and all different things. And you know, ultimately that's the problem. Because demonic energies, when interacting with love or anything of that nature, they become that. But they think that they're going to die, you see. They haven't become oneness yet. And demonic forces are simply just feelings. For example, a demonic feeling is something like jealousy or hurt or anger. See, and we produce it as a whole. And what's happened just now, people are having awakenings, and therefore the energy is changing back to its divine creator, which is just infinite love. And by becoming this yourself, that's how you escape the matrix. Just by going within and letting your inner guidance lead the way. All is within you. And that is how you escape the matrix. And I'm just going to leave it there. Thank you for watching. Thank you.